Welcome to Made in America, where I, America, share my most personal thoughts, offer daily motivation, and interview successful people that overcame personal struggles to make life better. Life is livable, but let's make it enjoyable. This is my journey so far. I share my triumphs and failures in hopes of touching someone who may have been through or is going through a similar situation. I'd like to begin with an interactive analogy. Let's take a moment, set the scene, close your eyes, pretend you are in your kitchen washing the dishes. I want you to really see yourself. The water is running. It's likely to be lukewarm, maybe a hot temperature or whatever temperature you like. I've just finished cleaning the last plate. I'm wringing out the washcloth and placing it back in the sink. Turning back to the dishes, they're shiny and super clean. Now pick up that last plate again. Notice how it is so shiny and the little designs seem to really sparkle. Are you still with me? Do you have the plate? Okay, great. Now hold the plate up high above your head and then throw it as hard as you can on the ground. Okay, stop. What happens next? Did it break? Well, yes. If you threw it as hard as you can, the plate should be smashed into smaller pieces. Now we have these smaller pieces of plate all over the floor. Little jagged pieces everywhere. Now look at those pieces. Crumblings, shavings, everywhere. Go ahead. Apologize to the plate. Come on. Say you're sorry and really mean it. Now what? Is the plate better? Has it been restored back to its original state? Is this making sense to you now? You see, there are many of us facing difficulty with forgiveness and healing. Either we are the plate that's shattered and broken, trying tirelessly to restore ourselves, or maybe, just maybe, we are the dishwasher, consistently shattering the plates we love, and not sure how to fix it. No matter which role we play in the story, the plate or the dishwasher, you become ineffective, powerless, and helpless. Don't believe me? You try eating off of a broken plate. Try washing shattered pieces. I remember one of my first relationships that left me feeling like the broken plate. In this relationship, I endured physical and mental abuse. There was so much negativity, I almost lost myself. I call this relationship my poo phase. No, not like the poo from you, but more like Pooh from Disney, the lovable Disney character that everyone assumes is harmless, but in fact ended up getting those close to him in terrible and deadly situations, only to satisfy a personal need. Thank God I made it out of this relationship. It took some time before I could get into another relationship, but I did. The next one was a breath of fresh air. I felt loved and redeemed. I finally had someone that cared and nurtured me. The problem this time is that I was not the only woman they decided to love and redeem. After investing 2 years trying to make it work, I finally gave up. I call this stage crazy love. The roller coaster of emotions and trying to hold on to something already gone can only be defined as crazy. Thank God I made it out of this one too. So there I was, this shattered woman, an empty shell inside, and trying to protect what pieces were left. I remember thinking, sorry was not enough. I wanted more than sorry. I wanted to feel good about life again. I remember praying that God would take my pain and help me to be strong and loving for my children. Have you felt this way? Are you feeling this way now? Maybe you just want some tips on how to make it better? Well, stay tuned as I explained how I attained freedom and made it to a stable relationship of 10 years, proving you can make it despite the odds that are set against you.
By the wayside of life, dreams and visions shattered, you're all broken inside. You don't have to stay in the shape that you're in. The potter wants to put you back together again. Oh, the potter wants to put you back together again. In case your situation has been turned upside down, and all that you've accomplished is now on the ground. You don't have to stay in the shade that you're in. The potter wants to put you back together again. Oh, the potter wants to put you back together again.
I remember after dealing with all the sadness and going through the hurt and the pain, that it was hard for me to even pray, to even find the time to think of myself. I was completely broken. But what I could do was I could think. And I thought about different stories in the Bible. And I thought about creation. And I remember thinking that it took God some time to create the earth. And it took him time to create man. And that it took him time to create me. And the time that he took, I'm not going to waste. So I prayed. At that point, I found my voice and I prayed to God simple prayers. Help me get through this. I had to completely face the fact that I was shattered and that he took the time to create me and that my prayers meant something to him. So that was my first step, was realizing that I mattered and I was a part of something big. So I took the time and said those prayers and talked to him out loud. And I think that's somewhere where we fail. We'll sit, we'll think, we'll cry, we'll call our best friend, we'll call a grandparent, we'll call an uncle, a cousin, but we won't call on God and we won't admit our faults. And I admit I'm weak. I can't do this without you. I can't make it through. And the prayers were so simple in the beginning, but they became long, where I would have the conversations that I couldn't have with anyone else, but I could have them with God. So my first step, again, understanding that we're here for a reason. We were created in his image, meaning that we can't do it without him, but we have everything we need inside of us. And you might have to ask God to show you how to bring it out. So my first step, again, understanding that we were created for a reason. Then you're able to call on God and let him know that you need him. Let him know you're weak. You're unable to do this without him. I guarantee he hears you. My third step would be to push, because you're going to feel like I'm talking to no one cares. You're going to feel like you don't matter, or you're just going to feel so hurt, so broken because of everything you've been through. But you have to push, and that means pray until something happens. I prayed until I felt a breaking, a release, and even more tears came, and even more anger came, but even more peace came. My prayers got stronger. I prayed for God to break the soul ties that were created because of the unhealthy, toxic relationships. And I prayed for him to make me stronger and be able to get free. And I thank God that it took time, but he answered those prayers. And that every day I keep on remembering to push. You can do this. Remember, we are like diamonds, refined, pushed against, pressured against, brought through all kinds of things. But what comes out of that pushing and that pressure is beautiful, amazing, and rare. And I think so many times we compare ourselves as pennies or pearls. We're not loose change. God considers us rare diamonds. And I think sometimes we need to realize the way He sees us and take care of ourselves accordingly. So again, I studied the way God formed the earth, the time that He put into each day, the time that He put into each step. And if He'll spend that much time just creating an environment cohesive for us to live in, and then spend time and give us authority over the creation, then I realize that He's considering us as precious. And I hope you see yourself as that way today. So that's just the first few steps. I have plenty more steps to go, and I hope that you'll continue to listen, and I hope that you'll find the freedom you need or encourage someone else to get free. God bless. Until next time.
I told you, all of my critics, I told you all that I was the greatest of all time. Sunday listeners, I told you today, I'm still the greatest of all time. Never again defeat me. Never again say that I'm going to be defeated. Never again make me the underdog until I'm about 50 years old. Then you might get me.
No.
I'm a walking, living legend, ain't no doubt about it. Stack my money to the sky, I'm just grinding out here. I'm a walking, living legend, ain't no doubt about it. All my faith is in God, that's the reason why I'm here. I'm a walking, living legend, ain't no doubt about it. No doubt about it, said ain't no doubt about it. I'm a walking, living legend, ain't no doubt about it. No doubt about it, said ain't no doubt about it. Power, fame, that's a legendary recipe. Every time you see me, man, you only get the best of me. Do it for my city, never anything that's stressing me. You never see me slacking anything, I give it everything. Waiting on my moment like it's right around the corner. All the haters, they watching, yeah, they know it's gonna be torture. Trying to prove them wrong, pushing through my song. Man, I work for what I want, never stop until I'm gone. I'm a walking, living legend, ain't no doubt about it. Stack my money to the sky, I'm just grinding out here. I'm a walking, living legend, ain't no doubt about it. All my faith is in God, that's the reason why I'm here. I'm a walking, living legend, ain't no doubt about it. No doubt about it, said ain't no doubt about it. I'm a walking, living legend, ain't no doubt about it. No doubt about it, said ain't no doubt about it. You know the reason why I'm here, let's make it clear. I'm here to get my own, 0 ounce of fear. You might as well just lock me in for all this other year. Cause the dudes that I'm competing with, they in my rearview mirror. Once I step up in the room and the competition finished, I can feel them getting scared. Cause they know I'm gonna kill it. I can care less about the dudes talking about they coming with it. It won't ever faze me, it won't ever change me.
Muhammad Ali was more than just a boxer. He was the greatest because he was a fighter in every sense of the word. He was a rebel with a cause. He was somebody that had principles. He stood for something.